Okay, so we're going to start with social health and your friends. Last week we saw social health and your family, how they are together, how they are related, how families work, and what are the different groups of families that exist. But right now we're going to talk about social health and your friends. So what is the role that your friends have in these kind of situations? First, we need to define what's friendship. And friendship, everybody needs a friend, okay? Why do we need a friend? Because they provide us with a companionship and they can be a source of help when we have a problem. Normally, imagine that you didn't have any friends. You probably won't have anybody to play with, to play to video games with, to talk about something that you're interested, or you will live at certain place completely alone and without talking to any other people because you don't have somebody that is making you companionship. But in this case, when they are accompanying you, they can be a source of help. Why? Because your friends, imagine you have a friend that can help you to understand a topic that you don't about a certain subject or something like that. As well, that can help you out by listening to you, to your different problems, and also providing advice in some of the cases. Okay? So friends are people with whom we share a common interest or hobbies. Okay, so they are the people that we share the same things in common. There is a saying that says that people look for people that are similar to themselves. Okay, people look for people that are similar to themselves. What do I mean by this? I mean that probably you will have friends with people that have the same attitude, not the exact same attitude, but you share many traits in common. Like, for example, both of you may be funny, both of you may be happy, and you share those different similarities as well. Or you have interests. Like, for example, if you have a friend who is interested in, I don't know, in soccer, and that friend of yours is a fan of Barcelona or Real Madrid or whatever, and you are a fan of any of those things as well, then you have something in common. You can start talking about the things that is happening in your favorite football club, etc. You're sharing your hobbies or a hobby. Imagine that you play Minecraft. I know that some of you do. And you find another person who plays Minecraft. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to start talking about the different things that happen in the game. You're going to talk about the things that you can do to check out the following things that are happening in the game, etc. Because are the hobbies. So, and good friendships are important to our social health. While there is a process that is called socialization. And socialization is the process in which we, as persons, interact with other people, okay? Or people that is part of a group. Like if you are part of a group of friends, you're going to behave in a certain way or talk in a certain way because you know in that way you fit in the group, okay? You will be accepted in the group. This is most common, especially when you see people that is part of different groups. Like I have friends, for telling you something, that they like heavy metal, okay? And you probably have seen that people like heavy metal. They usually have long hair, they wear black shirts, and they have some different bracelets with spikes and everything and things like those. So they speak in a certain way, they share the same hobbies, they say the same things, but they behave in a certain way to belong to that group. Therefore, they have friends. So when we talk about friendship, we're not only talking about social interest and everything, but we need to know how to differentiate a good friend from a bad friend, okay? Because sometimes it can be confusing, especially at your age, to determine which friend is good for you and which one is bad for you, or which characteristics should I look for in order to make sure that that friend is somebody that I can trust. First is loyalty, okay? What do I mean by loyalty? That I mean that they are there when we need them, okay? That a friend that you can count on as many, many times. Like the Bruno Mars song that says that you can count on me. In that case, we're talking about real life. A friend that you know that if you need to do something, you can go with that person. For example, let me tell you, when I used to live in Santa Ana and I was about 16, 17, I guess, I remember that I have a friend who his girlfriend had a surgery, and not long ago, probably not long ago at that time, right? But it was like 10 years ago. So she had a surgery. We were 17, 16 years old. And he told me, hey, Robert, can you go out with me to the hospital to see my girlfriend? Because she was a friend of mine as well. And obviously I was planning to go either way. And he told me, would you go with me, please? Because he's in San Salvador and I have never gone to San Salvador. And I don't know how to get to the place, etc., etc. And I don't want to go alone. And then I told him, okay, no problem. I will go with you. Don't you worry. Because I knew already how to transport myself in San Salvador. And I told him, okay, we're going to take the bus at that hour. We're going to go together. We're going to take this other bus later on. And we're going to get there in no time. And we did. So what happened, what am I trying to exemplify with that situation is that a friend like that is somebody that you can count in those kind of situations, okay? You can say, okay, I need somebody to support me or to help me out in this situation or to help me out to do this. And you can tell them, okay, like for example, imagine Monica tells Pao, can you help me out with this? And Pao will say, yes, I will be there. Don't you worry, I will be there helping you. Then reliability, that our friends are reliable, able to be counted in any situation. That no matter what the crazy thing that you're about to do is, they are going to always be there with you and help you out in any kind of situation, no matter what. Especially when you're sad or when you're depressed, so they can go there and help you out to release some of that tension, as we saw in classes. Sympathy, okay? Friends are aware of your feelings and do not ignore your emotions. If a friend of yours see you crying or see you that you're angry or see you that you are going through different situations that are really, really difficult and they don't do anything, that means that that is not a good friend. As I told you sometimes, like we all have the ability to determine when a person is feeling bad, but not everybody can intervene when that happens. Because if you see a person that is sad, starts crying, you may start talking to that person if you know them, if you are close to them. But if you don't know the person, or probably it's your classmate, but you don't interact that much, you won't probably feel that you can help that person. Why? Because probably you're not close enough. But a friend that is able to show sympathy and understand your emotions and try to help you feel better. And finally, caring. Friends that can accept your weaknesses as well as your strengths. They basically accept you as you are. They understand the different characteristics that you have and they tell you, okay, I appreciate you and I love you as you are. You don't need to change at all. You don't need to do anything crazy to be accepted by me. Then when we talk about friendship, there is something important that we need to discuss on, that is peer pressure. And what is peer pressure? Well, we see over here in the screen that says in your teenage year, you can experience what we know as peer pressure, which is the influence to go along with the beliefs and activities of a certain group of people. The positive peer pressure and there is negative peer pressure as well. So basically peer pressure is like the pressure that you feel that your friends are doing something or they are behaving in a certain way and you want to do the same things or behave in the same way because you want to fit in their group. Okay, you want to be part of the group. It's a mechanism that we use to survive in the real world. It's like, for example, if you have heard that phrase, like, if you cannot defeat them, then join them. That's basically it. Like, or in Spanish, si no puedes vencerlos, únete. But in this case, when we're talking about peer pressure, there is positive peer pressure and negative peer pressure. So that means that there are people who can influence you in a positive way and make you a better person. And there's people that can influence you in a negative way and make you a bad person. How? Positive peer pressure is when somebody of your age inspire you to do something worthwhile. So in other words, it's when a person that you know, that is your friend, that is the same age as you, has the same interests, etc., influence you to be in a positive way. Like imagine that you have a friend that goes to church, okay, and you don't go to church. But that friend goes there and they try to, to motivate you to go and they influence on you and they tell you why you should follow, for example, Jesus in this case. And that is positive because that person wants to do something positive for you. Or that person is going to tell you, okay, you know, I don't drink alcohol because of this. because I know that it's good for my body, because I know that it's something bad, because I know that it's going to bring me a lot of problems. Therefore, in that case, that person is doing a positive impact in you. Because you see, okay, and my friend doesn't drink, I shouldn't do it either, because he has pretty good reasons and I should have them as well. Then you have negative peer pressure. That is the pressure when you feel when somebody of your age wants to push you to do something you do not want or you know is not right for you. This is really common, like for example, among a group of friends. Right now you're still kids, but when you get to adolescence or adulthood and probably your early 18s, you will find that you probably may have friends that they will start drinking, going to parties, trying to smoke, doing different things. And they may have a negative influence on you because they will tell you, okay, try this and you will feel well, or try this, try to eat this, or try this. And therefore they are going to have a negative impact on yourself. Because imagine that all the friends of the group drink alcohol and they push you and they tell you, okay, drink alcohol with us. You're part of the group. Come on, everybody's doing it. You should do it as well. But what are the consequences that that is going to bring to your life? That's part of negative peer pressure. As well, you can feel negative peer pressure or positive. Not directly by a person, but you can see somebody. Like, for example, you can see that all of your friends are started dating and they have girlfriends and boyfriends. And then you may feel pressure that it's your time to do so as well, but you don't feel ready. Therefore, what my recommendation is to deal with positive and negative peer pressure. If it is something positive, if it is a person that is going to give a good influence to your life, keep that person around, okay? And if it is a negative peer pressure, somebody that's going to influence you to do something negative or harmful, keep that out of your life. You don't need that kind of people in your life because that is going to bring consequences. Let's continue. So that's everything that we need to know about friendship and negative and positive peer pressure. So right now, I want you to please activate your camera and your microphone, or one or the other, and let me know if you have any question, okay? I will stop recording right now. And marriage. When we talk about dating and marriage, this is a really important part of your life that you will experience it probably sooner or later. Some of you are already, or some of you will. But it's really important to you to know what to do in these kind of situations and to know what you really want. Because dating is some of the things that probably your parents are not going to tell you about. Or if they are going to be kind of ashamed of that. But that's what I'm here for, to teach you the things that they want. Anyways, so let's start with the first thing that is going to be changing relationships, okay? There's something that you need to know, that friendship is closely related, or is the first step for dating. You will see why in a minute. As you grow up, you will meet other people. As well, you will start the process that is called socialization. Is what I was explaining to you at the beginning. But I will explain what socializing is, or socialization. It's a process in which you adapt to interact with people of different groups, different ages, etc. For example, when you are a baby, you start socializing. That means that you learn how to behave from your parents, you learn your values from your parents, and you learn how to do different things from your parents. That's the socialization process. When you get to school for the first time, or for the first years, you are also still in the process of socialization, because you are adapting yourself how things work in the school, adapting to your classmates, how they behave, how you can interact with them, how you can interact with the teachers, etc. That's socialization. And when you get to adulthood, when you get to your 20s, you will experience another process, probably when you start having your first job, another socialization process in which you will start developing other skills that will help you to survive in that environment. Like, for example, there are many things that people do in jobs that they are not taught in schools, and that is comprehensible. We cannot teach everything at school. But in that case, that is going to be essential to know how you're going to develop in these kind of situations. So this is the process in getting along with and communicating with other people. So that means that basically is to communicate with other people, interact, to try to talk to everybody, try to get to know everybody, to get along. To get along means to have a good relationship with people. That's the meaning of that. Through this process, you learn how to express yourself about your opinions and preferences. Why? At the beginning, when you have friends, there is a benefit or there is an advantage that you can act silly as you want, you can be whoever you want, you can share about the feelings that you want, and nobody's going to criticize you because your friends share the same things as you. Like for example, if you play Minecraft, your friends do so as well, and they find it cool, they like it, they do the same thing. But probably when you start dating and you will start meeting new people and you start meeting girls and you see the girl that you like, you may start asking, does she like Minecraft? Can I talk to her about Minecraft? Or is she going to think that, am I weird because I like those kinds of things, because she's interested in other stuff? That is the most common thing that you're going to deal with when you are start dating. Like, what can I do? What should I say? Or who should I be to impress the person that I like? Or what kind of action should I make? Should I give her a poem? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I act differently? Should I speak differently? Should I wear this? Should I brush my hair in different ways? Should I wear different clothes, etc.? Just think about anything except being yourself, because that is the process that you want. Like, you want to express your opinion. But that's why it says that this is a process in which you learn to express your opinions, because through the years that dating takes place, you will learn how to be yourself on a date, be yourself with the person that you like, and to understand that if they like you as you are, with your interests in everything, that's great. If they don't, that's great as well. Nobody has to like you as you are, but as long as you accept yourself, no problem. But anyways, so when we talk about dating relationships, not all teens your age want to date or feel ready to do so. This is something important, and let me highlight it for you because this is something that we need to take into mind. Not all the things of your age want to date or are ready to do so. Why? Even though you may be at an age that you may start dating, that doesn't mean that you are emotionally mature to start a date or to start having a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Why? You are still kids. There are still things that you can enjoy just by only being kids, that you will not enjoy in any other stage of your life. So you don't need to rush the things, okay? You don't need to go really quickly with the things that you want or the things that everybody else is doing, because you still have years and years and years to do so. You have years to experience what you want, and you have an age for that. And if you don't feel ready to have a date, if you don't feel ready to start having a girlfriend or a boyfriend, it's okay, okay? Nobody has to push you to do that. Sometimes parents, they push you and they start asking you, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a boyfriend? Or your friends may start having a girlfriend and boyfriend, and because they are doing it, you want to do it as well. But if you don't feel ready, or if you feel that you don't want to, please take your time. Nobody's going to push you around. Nobody's going to hurry you for that. That is your decision. You decide when you're ready and you decide when to start. Some teens, how about they're interested in, they prefer, excuse me, just let me move this over out of the way. They prefer, for the time being, some teens are shy and the idea of dating makes them feel nervous. It is a good idea to only date when you're ready. If somebody pressures to do that, you will probably not have fun. So, dating, sometimes there is a problem that you are shy and you don't know what to say, you don't know how to react, you don't know what to do on a date. That is the first thing that happens. Like, what's a date? Let's say, what should I do on a date? Where should I take the person that I like? What should we do? What should we talk about? Etc., etc. But if it is not something that you are ready for, don't feel pressured to do it. You're not going to have fun. Like if they tell you, okay, come with us because I want to go with this girl and I want you to meet another girl or another boy, etc. You're going to feel pressure. You're not going to be comfortable. You're going to be nervous all the time. You're going to feel so nervous that the things are not going to work out for you. But there are things that you need to take into consideration but just if you feel ready to start dating. Okay, if you are completely ready and you think that everything in your mind is ready to do it and you want to give it a try. First recommendation, going out in groups. It makes dating easier and makes it more comfortable because of the friends environment. Like when you are in a group of friends, there is no awkwardness, right? Because you share the same things, you can joke, you can have fun, no problem, nobody's going to tell you anything. But when you are alone, just with the person that you like, you may start asking like, what do I do now? How am I going to start a conversation with her or with him? But now that you are in a group, you have the ability to interact with everybody in the group and not just with that person. Therefore, it's going to help you to break the ice and make sure that you can talk about anything you want and they can see you more comfortable because you are more comfortable surrounding with people that they don't know what they are doing as well. So you're not alone. But if you want to try individual dating, okay? If you want to try it, if you want to give it a try on your own, you feel ready for it. This requires responsible dating. Responsible dating, I will explain to you with this. Which means trustworthy, okay? Trustworthy, that you're going to trust the person that you're going to be dating, not in the sense that you're going to tell her a secret or him a secret, but in the sense that you can trust that that person is genuine, okay? That is him or herself, and that they are not trying to be somebody that they are not, okay? That means that it needs to be a person that when you're ready to date somebody individually, you need to know that the person that you're dating is exactly the person that she or he is saying that he or she is. Showing respect to the other person, okay? That means that when you're dating, probably you will start feeling like anxious and doing things that you shouldn't, or trying to rush things out because you don't know how things work. For example, there's people that they commit the mistake that they kiss somebody on their first date, okay? And there is not that there is something wrong about it, but not all the people are going to appreciate it, okay? So you need to know and understand the situation and understand the kind of person that you're dealing with and the level of maturity that that person is going to have, and depending on the type of date that you have, and you can determine if you can do it or not. But showing respect is important. Like, you're not going to take the hand of a person during a day if they are not comfortable with it. You're not going to push him or her to kiss you if they are not comfortable with it. So basically that's respect. And thinking ahead about the consequences of your actions. So for example, what if you do something that you shouldn't? How is that person going to react? You should take into consideration that as well, because that's a scenario in which things may go wrong and that person may stop talking to you and blocking you from any social media that they know or that exists under the sun. Therefore, we need to be respectful, think about the actions, be trustworthy, somebody that can be counted on, somebody that is transparent. That is something to take into consideration if you want to consider individual dating and just if you feel ready for it. But when we talk to dating, there is something that I want to mention you, and is that dating is like the free trial for marriage, okay? Free trial for marriage. You probably have downloaded some programs on your computer already that are free for 30 days, okay? And you can try them for 30 days and you can use them however you want. And after 30 days, you have to pay for it. Marriage is basically that contract after you decided to pay for it. Why? When you are dating, you are free to try, okay? To try, experience different things, try to meet different people with different interests, etc. But at the end, when that trial period finishes, it comes the time to sign the contract. So that means for marriage. Every relationship that is from boyfriend and girlfriend will evolve into marriage over time. What I will recommend you is when you are emotionally mature, right now you can experience, that's okay. But when you're emotionally mature, when you get to adulthood, probably your 18s or 20s, you need to have a relationship that is engoaled towards marriage, because that's the point of it. That's the point of having a relationship, to find somebody that you can stay with and share the things that you want, probably for the rest of your life. So most people get married because they are in love but love is a strong emotional attachment to another person. By getting married, people demonstrate the desire to live with and care for each other through the life. Sometimes when we are in a relationship with boyfriends or girlfriends, we don't think about the negative stuff that may happen. We just think like, okay, we're going to have fun, we're going to be happy, we're going to do this, we're going to do the other. But you never think that there are going to be situations in life in which you have to be there for that person. Like, imagine that a relative passed away and you have to be there to, to help that person feel better. And that's something that you learn through relationships and you carry out to marriage. Because believe me, there is no husband and wife. They don't understand one another and they do not feel anything when somebody's going through a hard time and try to do something to make them feel better. However, love is not enough to keep a relationship going. In order to keep a marriage going, it is necessary to have a commitment, or in other words, a compromise. Not just the compromise that you have at church, like you say, I promise in front of God that I will love her and protect her, or I will love him and protect her. But a promise and a commitment that you will be there for that person in the good and bad times in life. That's marriage. That's a commitment and that's a promise and that's something that you decide to take on your own and that's your responsibility. And you should be responsible for the things that happen and how you take care of them. And there are something that the book is specific about, that is teen marriage. That is teenagers getting married so young. So what happens with this is that, let's take a look at these examples that say, people are not ready to get married during the teen years. Why? Because at that time, you are not emotionally and physically prepared to deal with things because being married implies a responsibility. To live with the same person the whole rest of your life, to be taking care of him or her in different situations. And when you are a teenager, you still are not ready because there are many things that you want to experience. There are many things that you want to live for. There are many things that you want to do. And if you're married, you probably won't have the time for that. Most teenagers are not ready to be parents. Not physiologically, not psychologically. Because being a parent means being emotionally mature to deal with the necessities of all the kids. If you are right now working on the activities on TikToks that we have to talk about parenting, you know that the mistakes that parents make and the things that they need to know. Like they need to know that that is something, they need to provide food, they need to provide clothing, they need to provide shelter, they need to get a good job and basically base their lives on their kids. Try to accomplish all their needs. And if you are a teen, you still have interests, you still want to have fun, you still want to be a teenager and enjoy life. Therefore, there are many things that you need to understand first in order to become a parent. Most teenage couples do not have enough money. Obviously, right? Because you don't have a job, you don't have experience, you have never been adults on your own and you have always counted on your parents. And now when you're married, that means that you have to make your own money and make your own stuff. Therefore, teen marriage is something that I wouldn't recommend to you. I know that it's really common in our country because people doesn't take the seriousness of the fact of being in a relationship and don't take the contingencies. But it's something that I won't recommend. Why? Because first, you don't have the money. Second, you don't have enough education to apply for a better job so you can get more money. Third, you're not emotionally ready. And fourth, you're not physically ready at all because having a kid is demanding, especially when they are really little and they start crying for everything. They start throwing everything away and doing a mess. And it requires a lot of character and patience. And that is something that you develop through years. And with that, we're going to finish dating and marriage. And I guess we just have like 3 minutes. We're going to leave parenthood for next week. We can jump into the topic with more detail and everything. But right now, I will stop recording. And I want to know if you have questions